My friend Eugene is visiting for a few days, and I thought I'd come out and see if he'd give me a tour of the inside of his camper, how he lives in it. Eugene!
Hey!
What you doing?
Working on my eugenealogy.
Eugene. All right. Could you give me a quick tour of the campers? Show me how you live in this thing?
Yep. I heard you coming. Let me put all this stuff aside here. Let me get my cap on and set the camera
Well,
aside.
you got that there. What is that?
Take my desk.
Oh, it's your, okay.
Yeah, I got rid of
it,
I got rid of the dinette table.
Oh,
I'll
okay.
explain that as part of the
Very
tour.
good, very good, very good.
Yeah, let me get some of my computer and stuff out of the way here.
Sure.
I'll be right with you. Hello, everybody.
All right, you got everything kind of
Yep, got that out of the way.
All right, you get your chair sitting out here out of the way. And
Yep, step on in.
Where'd the table go?
Let's start let's start with the back. So this is where I sleep. You can see I've got my Christmas present here. It's got all my from my daughter's family, my granddaughter, and the current this Kitty's its name, and Thor is still, but the rest of the pets are memories of because they have crossed the Rainbow Bridge.
The Rainbow Bridge.
Gino and Benji and Draco and Natasha just recently. But anyway, this is the bed. It is a standard twin extra long. It's a regular, bought from a store mattress. It's a twin XL. It's about 10 inches deep. It's a little higher than my previous mattress that I bought, but it's still does a really good job. I like it. It's been here for about 3 years. I sleep with my head on this end, and I run my CPAP off of battery power with a 12-volt adapter, and it's back here. I'm just going to move this out of the way so you all can see. Put the pillow back there. There's my CPAP, and I'm going to move this one too and put it up there out of the way. And you've got my CPAP, and there's storage box underneath it. That's t-shirt box, my socks and underwear drawer, and the box with tank tops and pants and shorts in, and that box is just extra storage stuff. And then I have these 3 containers that hold, this actually has a battery charger and a good electronic meter in there, voltmeter. There's paper in the other 2. And you can see that on the bed itself, you can kind of see sticking out the bottom here, there's an Afghan, a crocheted blanket. It's really heavy in this blanket. And then up at the top, so when I'm traveling down the road, these are stored in these corners. They also help keep me insulated from the outside weather.
Oh, okay.
You know, there's just another barrier. Just in that wall gets really cold when I'm at 25 degrees, and having that space, that distance between it, it's clothing, so it's help insulating some of it. Mm-hmm. The aluminum sticking up is what makes things feel really cold. Mm-hmm. And then you can see, besides the blanket, I talked about the crocheted blanket. I have 1 comforter, I have 2 comforters, and I have a sheet and an actual real pillow. And when I travel down the road, this pillow gets stored right in that 3rd section in the middle. And by nature of the gap over the inside the dormer, that pillow and those pillows don't really cause any extra pressure when you're closing the roof down. So my CPAP, blankets, plenty of blankets for the cold. And okay, let's talk storage here now. You saw that I have all my clothing stored in the back, and some paperwork and other things in here. I also have these little boxes here that I have built. First off, these are my favorite boxes for storing things in because they're free. Yeah. And they fit in a lot of small places. I keep one there. I keep one down here below it on top that this one rests on like this.
Is this equivalent of like a junk drawer most people would
More,
have?
more or less, yeah. I've got things stored in them. You know, I mean, this one just sits on top of it like that in this little space, but I'm utilizing that space. Okay. And then back here, there's a wooden box that I built. You can see the entirety of the box. Okay. And I keep my bathroom scale in there, and some other things, laundry soap. And I have the same thing, and it's real easy to, I got finger holes to pick them up with. It's real easy to just get in there and grab with a finger and lower it into place.
Very good.
The same thing on the other side. I should have left these folded back. I have a little tiny box here that has my daily medications and stuff like that in it. And I have a charge center right back here by the head of my bed. And it has actually, let me grab a flashlight real quick. Sorry, I stepped in front of the camera. It looks kind of like a rat's nest now, but there's a, here this is fully charged. Charge USB-C, USB-A. This is a health device, my hearing aid devices. All these things plug into a 4-outlet USB port that's powered from my solar system, along with the 12-volt plug that's powered from my solar system. And that's how I run my CPAP. And over here there is another plug for USB charging that is capable of high wattage charging, such as running a laptop. Okay. It's got a USB 3.0 and a 65 watt USB-C outlet for high power outlet for.
Did that come with the camper, or did you?
No, I installed all that.
Okay.
I installed all that, and then under the bed, you can see that I have storage boxes. I shop for these on Amazon. They are the brand, as you can see, is Clever Made, and I can just move this out. This is my pantry because I'm in it the most. There's some containers in there. Of course, I like graham crackers, but canned goods and so on and so forth. That's more or less my pantry, my go-to for stored dry goods. And then
I always wondered where you stored stuff like that, because you don't have any overhead counters or cabinet spaces up above.
There's one exactly like it over here that has medical stuff in, first aid kit, my prescription drugs, and so on and so forth. And there's one on this side underneath these two boxes, and it has there's a little mini waffle iron in there, my Instapot, 3-quart Instapot, my knife sharpening kit, some other various and sundry storage items, you know what I mean? And then back here, again in this corner where all this power connection is, I have distilled water in a 6-pack here for my CPAP machine, and my hearing aids go down there eventually. Then I do almost everything on DC power. The only thing I use AC power for is cooking on my induction cooktop. And the Instapot and the waffle iron, I don't use it very often because I'm watching carbs now. But yeah, the induction cooktop, I prefer that over top of using the propane burner. It has very good control if I put a pan on it. If I put something on it, let me grab one out of here because we're going to do this next anyway. If I put a pan on it and turn it on, it's on. I can tell it to go to 175 degrees and hit start, and it's running off my induction system and heating up that pan to 175 degrees, and it's really efficient. It'll get warm.
It's warm already.
Yeah. Well, it induces the heat in the pan itself, and it has various. And you can. One of the things I especially like about it is you can control the temperature once it's running. You can control the temperature in 5-degree increments, or you can pre-pick a 275, and then once it starts cooking, you can turn it down to 225, and it will just. After when the temperature quits blinking, it'll be set at 225.
Where'd you get this?
I bought it off Amazon.
Amazon. Okay.
Yeah. It was really good. And then I'm going to reach over here and that burner stove.
You want to turn
I use
that off?
my.
You want to turn that
Oh
off?
yeah. Yeah.
Ain't no sense of running it.
No, and I'll kill the power. Kill the power up here too. So this Aliner does have a water system in it. I made a decision when I first bought it not to use the water system. I felt it would be not necessary for me. Mm-hmm. So here's the sink. As far as I know, it's still in all the working condition. Everything's there. I just use it for storage. I've got stuff in it. This goes out in my vehicle afterwards. I was just charging that up today. Again, we looked at the 2-burner stove. Inside the 2-burner stove, I have a candle lighter for lighting the propane.
Oh.
And this is my reach tool for loosening and opening the vent.
Oh.
Because it's awfully tall. It's awfully tall and the wind's from the south. Then you can turn the fan on. 3-speed fan. You can see all that on the shunt and the solar system.
Yeah.
You know.
That's one of the things I've learned about you. You've got a tool or a device or something for just about everything. I could go on to a list of stuff, but
Yeah,
that's off subject.
I'm unfortunately not tall enough. You might be able to reach that.
No, I can reach you, but I'm just
But
talking
I'm not.
about stuff you can reach. It just makes your, the little wedges you put in your pickup door so the lights don't come on. Just little things like that. It's just all these little nifty little gadgets that you come up with.
Right.
That makes your life easier.
I need something for that, so that's what I do. As far as the rest of the storage, if we work back this cabinet now here from this side, here's an outlet that's on a shore power. This is the control unit for my diesel heater. The diesel heater's in the same place where the furnace was, so it blows heat out the same way. I prefer it very much over the original furnace because the original furnace would turn on, make it hot, and then it would shut off. There was about a 15-degree cycle temperature for it. When I turn the diesel heater on, I can set it for it's only in centigrade, so I can set it at 17, which is about 65. And it'll just come on, and once it reaches that temperature, it stays on at its lowest pulse, and it just keeps putting some minor amount of heat in. And then I can decide when to shut it off. And there's different ways you can run that, but to me, it's really nice. It keeps this much warmer and much more comfortable than I ever was when I was using the furnace in the first year that it worked. Okay, so we've covered that. This piece of wood up here is just a cover for the air conditioner. And I was losing things down there all the time and having to take this door cabinet, my storage stuff in here, just to get back to the spoon that I dropped and so on and so forth. Right. So I put that over it, and then when I need to use it, I can just take it off and use it and then put it back.
And does that cool? I mean, if it's 100 degrees outside, does that cool this place off?
Oh yeah. Okay. I used it in just south of Memphis in northern Mississippi last summer in June. And I have my temperature display. You can see it's up to 85 in here. I don't know if that comes in on here because it's LCD. That's the inside temperature of my refrigerator right there on the top, and the ambient temperature around that. So, and then these controls I don't use because it's for the water heater and the water pump. The water pump will still turn on. You can hear it briefly there. And then there's storage under here. Again,
boxes?
Again, I use my boxes. I like to lock things into a location by it's in the brown box or the white box under the sink. Yeah.
Right.
And then the original microwave that was here was 1400 watts, 1375, and it drew about almost 200 amps when it ran. I gave it to my friend and to stand here, and I put in a 700 watts, which drives about 900 watts when it's running, and it's held in place. That was one of the big problems with this. It had a little thin metal frame that had 2 screws that went into the side of the microwave, and the frame the microwave would just push the frame off the screws.
While you're in transit?
While you're in transit. Okay. You know what I mean? There's lots of people talk about they found their microwave on the floor. So that system didn't work very well anyway. My original source, when I still had that in, was I went and took a wood drill about 1 inch diameter, marked where the feet were of the microwave, and made a 1/8 of an inch deep hole in this piece of plywood right here, so that it would be nested in it. It'd be less likely to just slide out because of vibration. It would have to bump its way out. So after I put this in, I put a piece of wood on the plywood, or a piece of 2x on the back of this plywood to keep that, it can't fall off the back. And then I added this piece of wood here so that it keeps the microwave in and I can access the microwave. I store my bread in there. it also has enough room on top that I can put one of these plastic containers in to store things in. I also keep this is where I keep my favorites, graham crackers. I can have one of them at night. And there's some other things that are stored back in here along the side.
Use every little piece of storage.
I use every space that I can.
Okay, now we're getting toward moving forward. Let's switch spots so I get behind
Let's
you back
do the
here.
refrigerator. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, this is a standard Dometic refrigerator that came with my rig. And I fire it up on propane in September usually before I leave in the fall. And it'll stay running until June, and it runs on propane the entire time. In cold weather, I get about 3 weeks out of it. In hot weather, maybe 4 weeks. And in hot weather, I might get, here's the controls inside. Hot weather, I might get only 3 weeks out of it. 4 weeks longer and cooler, so on and so forth. And it's on propane now. I don't think I'm using the auto function. And then I got a little bit of stuff in it now, but it's still 35 degrees, eggs and canned goods and so on and so forth.
Oh, show us your eggs.
I don't have them. They're in a crate. They're in a crate, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well,
I didn't pre-scramble them. Okay.
Explain your egg thing.
My normal thing with eggs is, let me get something for a prop for demonstration. I will take a soda bottle such as this.
A new clean one.
And crack, yeah, clean one, yeah. Rinse it all out and everything, and crack all the eggs and put the eggs in there. And then I have a, now we're showing this off before I meant to.
Well,
No, right here. I have a piece of wire that I can put in a drill, so when it spins it does that, and I put it down in the bottle and scramble all the eggs. And then if I need a little bit of egg, because I'm going to make some cornbread, I can do a single serving of cornbread with a little bit of egg and
what's the purpose of doing all that?
Jiffy Mix, so that I don't have to worry about the eggs breaking in the refrigerator when I'm doing stuff with it.
And you don't have that big...
Right, I don't have the, it
12
only takes
pack.
up the space of one bottle.
Right.
Yeah,
Instead
yeah.
of 12 eggs, you only got 3 eggs left in the carton, but it's still taking a whole 12 egg carton.
Right.
in
It's still
space.
taking up all that space.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And you can see the eggs down there. I still have them in there. There's still about 10 of them in there.
Yep.
12 large eggs will not fit in a half-liter Pepsi bottle.
Okay.
Sometimes 10, sometimes 11. Yeah. So anyway, here in the front where the dinette used to be is my desk. I built a counter extension here, so that, and it more or less slides in and out of place. My switch for my inverter to turn it on and off is back here on the side. It's just a little rocker switch there. If you can hear the inverter beep when you turn it on, and then I just push that back into that spot. So I use the front end, which is currently made up as a bed, for storage as I'm going down the road. There's the box for my induction cooktop. I pack it up whenever I'm going to move. I pack up the induction cooktop and put it in there. There's a stuff my Starlink. Your Starlink's on now, and I got good phone signal, so I don't need to use the Starlink now. So it's just laying here more or less. So, but this is where the dinette was, and these cushions sit back on the outside wall here, and you sit face to face, and the table stayed in the middle. This is approximately the same size as the table that was here. You'll notice that I put boards on the side of it, so when I take it out of here, it just locks in place and can't slide off one end. If there was no boards on the bottom, it would do that while you're trying to eat or something if you accidentally bumped it or whatever. You know.
Right. And that's where it was all set up when we first walked up here.
Right. Exactly.
Had the chair back here and then the desk, and that's his.
Yeah. Yeah.
You spend.
So anyway, so it goes in the exact same spot where the dinette table used to be stored. And I'm going to take it back out again. So you'll also see underneath here that I have some cardboard. My dustpan and broom are under here. You can also see that I have some more boxes in here of storage stuff. There's this straw box, a Busch Light box. This is my hometown beer. And then up here, back in the corner, there's a shoe box that has my hiking boots in it, hiking shoes. I've worn them a little bit, but not very much. And then the back wall right there is where my lithium batteries are. They're underneath the rack here. You can kind of see part of them under there. I'm not going to dig them all out.
Yeah, sense to dig them out. But
the batteries are back in there, and as you saw in the exterior close-up video or opening video, I can't remember which it was. All the rest of my battery stuff is right there. So there's, I can't remember if they're 2-aught or 4-aught wires coming off the battery through a shunt and into the compartment where they go to the bus bars, and then the inverters cook to the bus bar and all that stuff. Part of the regular solar setup.
Right.
Now I'm going to have you stay right there, but I'm going to have you lean back,
no,
look up at the light.
I got something in my back. There we
Look
go.
up at the light.
Oh, okay.
The light has a switch on it, but the switch is currently on, and there's a rotary switch I installed on the outlet here, so that you can turn it on and have very, very minimal light.
It's a dimmer switch.
It's a dimmer switch, and then you can turn it up to,
very good.
to full brightness, and then you can turn it back down and keep it whatever you want, or you can shut it off right there.
Is to save electricity, but also you don't need a really, really bright light most of the
Well, the deal is when it's night and you turn both of these on full blast, it's real bright, except right here where you're trying to cook.
time. Okay.
You know what I mean? And a lot of people don't cook inside. I don't care about cooking inside. When I'm at home, I cook in my house. Why wouldn't I cook in my camper? You know,
Yeah.
it's the thought of, and that's fine. Everybody does what they want. You know, I mean, I'm not arguing against that. You know, you go camping, you cook on the fire. Well, this is my home. I don't cook outside just because I'm home. I cook outside when I'm camping. You know, yeah, just a different frame of mind. Just a different frame of mind.
Right.
So yeah, so I have stuff stored in there, and that white outlet back there is my inverter 120 volt supply.
Okay.
All other receptacles that are inside this camper are not tied to the inverter. They're strictly shore power.
Okay.
And realistically, I have to use an extension cord because the cord that came with this just isn't quite long enough to reach down to that plug. It misses it by about this much.
Yeah.
So I've got this pretty heavy duty 10-foot extension cord, and I just leave it lay up there. It's got multiple ends on it. I can plug the Starlink in. I can plug the crock pot in, or the Instapot in if I need to, or whatever. You know. So yeah, basically all this is just all storage, and the entryway. And over on this side, you've already seen a sneak peek of. This is storage. When I first got the A-liner, it had this lid that opened up like this, and this storage under here. Shelves, another shelf with stuff in it, and you had to bend over to get everything out of those shelves, and if you needed something way in the back, it was pretty terrible to get to. You know what I mean? So this was just a flat junk drawer type of thing. Well, I took the junk drawer out and made a partitioned removable junk drawer, and then that can just get set over there, and then the entire top shelf is accessible from above. Yeah, and I got a few granola bars in there, and there's some pecans in this one, and a lot of these are empty. There's cashews in that one. I have a
See, you store everything in a secondary, like bottles and stuff. Like, see,
right,
rice
yeah,
and flour and things
yeah,
like this.
because it's more organized. I mean, here's my oatmeal.
Okay. Almonds. Okay.
Almonds in there. There's some black pepper for the grinder. You know what I mean? My gallon plastic bags and a foil, and there's some non-stick foil and regular foil.
Yeah, just,
and, you know, just
in the screen here, it just looks like a whole bunch of bottles, and it's like you just store all your sodas and stuff down in there, but it's not. It's a lot of dry storage.
Right. Yeah. This is a PAF seasoning from back home, taco seasoning, and cornstarch, corn mix, and so on and so forth.
Can you put that back in there?
Yep.
And then underneath, like on the very bottom shelf down there that's hard to get to, that's stuff you don't get to very often, right?
Right, and that's the deal with almost everything. Something's sticking up here. What's sticking up? Won't quite close all the way.
No, this right here is sticking up.
Oh, okay. Oh, the lid fell down.
Ah.
The lid fell down, that's why.
There you go.
Yep, there it's back down. And then this side originally was the cassette toilet. You can see the cassette toilet down there.
Mm-hmm.
Throw my moccasins in there, you know, for bedroom slippers. Mm-hmm. But I've created these boxes in here, mm-hmm. and there are a lot more of my kitchen stuff. Mm-hmm. Peanut butter, quart Ziploc bags, olive oil, white vinegar, scale, peelers, and so on and so forth. And then I can lift that out, set it over there, and in this one there are pans and some spices and plate and some other cookware type stuff. I can put that out of the way, use the safety tie up, still that.
Oh, just a bungee. Okay.
Rotate the cassette toilet like you're supposed to and use it.
Wait, there's nothing in there. Okay. So people don't want to see
just lined
that.
with a plastic bag. I don't use the water system, so I can't do that. And then this system here keeps these boxes from resting on this lid.
Okay.
If I just set those boxes right on top of this lid, it would just, all this would be busted up real bad. And these are just sitting in here with a hole drilled in to keep that dowel in place. And I got to go over on that side. That one fell out. Just enough to keep these separated enough.
What's the dowel for? Just to hold them against the wall?
To keep them from flopping in.
Okay, got it. Right.
You know, so these aren't on here resting on that. You know what I mean?
Okay, all right.
And then pick it up, put everything back. Drop that one in place. Put the elastic band there that holds that up. Put that back in place. Drop that in place and close the lid. Back secured, out of the way.
So basically that's an elaborate
It's a cassette toilet.
bucket method though.
Yeah.
It's more comfortable.
Most of the RV community doesn't know what a bucket
Yeah, okay. Go to bobwells.com.
Yeah. So I've covered all that. There is access to this, and these hatches on the outside you can access from above. If you lift those up, there is a board that the pads sit on. These pads are not very comfortable. And in that back corner, there is a hatch, but you can't access it from the above. I've traded me places again. I'm going to do this for you. Because I forgot to show that when we were up here. So I take this out, set it up there. If you look back in there, there is a cabinet door.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and that goes into a section that is approximately the middle of the bed support.
Okay.
To support the weight of the bed across the length of the width of the camper, there's a wall in there. There's a wall right about here. That's where that door is. And then there's dividing that go all the way to the back. And that's to transmit the weight of whatever's on the sofa, because this is actually a sofa also, is supported and not a piece of plywood that's laying there taking stress.
Right. Now, outdoor storage door?
No, that's the water heater and the water
heater's
system. The water system's in this corner. The shore power's in this corner.
How do you get that for like maintenance or repair? Take the bed out?
Yeah, the bed would have to come out.
Okay, all right. And then over here, you can lift this up. You can't get to that storage box there from the inside.
Yeah, I can.
Oh, you can. Okay. And this door is just storage in the center for things you don't use very often, because that seems like it'd be hard to get
I've got a tent in there and a box of, basically just some things that I've squirreled away that I might want to have with me on my trip, because the tent that's in there is an 8x8 tent. I haven't set it up in 4 years, but it's there if I needed to, if I had the whim. But again, I've decided after all my time of keeping my outside set up small so I don't have to worry about taking something down in an emergency. Yeah, I mean. Right. Yeah, or in high winds, because there are high winds. Right. Is this light off? Yep, it's off.
Okay.
So that's that storage there. If you look in the ceiling, you'll see my 2 wind poles. We talked about those on
a previous video when you set up.
Yeah, on the setup video. But you can see here now I've got my towel and washcloth, and I've got some Christmas gifts here that I've gotten little gnomes. Let me get this out of the way. Get it out, put it back.
So these little Christmas presents, just Christmas presents
Right,
for friends
right.
or family.
Things that friends have given me. Yep, yep.
Okay. All right.
Here's this little gnome that I got in Minnesota, and here's your thing where you carve my name and put it in a bottle.
Oh, that's where that's at.
Yeah,
Yeah, folks, I made this for him.
Yeah.
And it's upside down. Let's switch hands here. If you
Oh,
can see,
you dropped my elf.
that is a carpenter's pencil, and I shaved the wood down, and that's just the lead that's left over. And I carved his name into it very, very gently. So here, I'll let you put that
No,
back.
hang it on there. Hang it on there.
Right like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I put this on it to keep it in place. It
There
kind
you
of
go.
hides it, but it keeps it safe.
Yeah, there you go.
I've had that for about 2 years. It still hadn't broken yet. I'm amazed. Okay, so these little gifts that hang up there from different people, Cindy, the elk and A-liner drawing, my granddaughter made that for me. This came from them. I keep my trash up here on a coat hanger, and I've taken the coat hanger and modified it so that I actually made those slots a little bit deeper than they originally were.
Okay.
And then that keeps the bag more or less locked into place. And I keep my paper towels up there so that those are nice and handy to wherever I'm working.
Right.
You know, and then we talked about the fan. I also have my old-fashioned Walmart 697 kerosene lantern.
It is a real kerosene lantern.
Yep,
Okay.
it can be used as a kerosene lantern. I mostly use it for, I've got citronella oil.
Oh, okay.
So I can burn citronella oil on that, and even just setting it by the door outside in a mosquito-y area, if it's real bad, I have to bring it in. But if I bring that inside, it'll keep the bugs out of here. It won't keep gnats out, but it'll keep the mosquitoes out. Yeah, I mean, it does make it irritable for them.
Okay.
And then microfiber washcloth, and the curtains. You can see that these curtains I never really open. I think that one still has some reflectix under it, but most of the time I just leave these closed. And for their the normal way to roll these up is the normal way to by design you roll these up is to do this and roll it up, and then you have to tie it off with Velcro, and it hangs like this.
Right.
I just decided to go ahead and I found these magnets, you know where, in Quartzsite. I pull this out of the way, and
What kind of magnet is that?
it's part of a hard drive.
There you go.
Part of a hard drive magnet.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
And I can just leave it there. I can adjust it so that it's flapped over the gnome. I can take the gnome off and put them on the outside and draw them back real hard, or I can just only open it a little bit. You very
funny
what
thing
you
about
want to do with it.
RV designers,
Yeah.
they ought to watch videos like this and show how people actually live in them.
Yeah.
And they could invent stuff
Right.
that you won't have to do.
Right. You can see that these windows, these shades have a lot of color variation. It's because you can't wash them. They're not pre-shrunk. If you wash that, it won't fit back up and make all the snaps.
Oh, really? Okay.
So that's why they're as dirty as they are. And I'm not a seamstress, and I have paid a friend of mine to do an experiment for me. This is an idea I came up with. I took down this curtain because it was in pretty bad shape, and I had her make me a quilted. This is a quilted. It's got a layer of
Batting.
polyfill in it, and so on and so forth. And then I took and glued. You can see the strip where they had the Velcro on the ceiling or on the walls to hold the other thing in. But I glued these metal strips on the wall, and this curtain is held in place by magnets.
There you go.
So
And they're pretty. They're pretty light, tight. I mean, they're blackout. You can't.
And there are times like if I don't want to be woken up real early in the morning, I'll just crack it like that. You know what I mean? And then a little bit of sun will come through because I'm normally parked to the south. The sun will be coming up through that window. It'll shine over there. And then if I want some airflow, I can just go to this end, take this off and pull it back, and it'll stick itself up here. And I can open the window back up and get. You can see this sliding window. This is the only air shape you got, so there's no use rolling everything up this way. You know what I mean?
Now this one opens slightly different.
Right, this one opens in this direction.
Okay.
And the
So you can open them up, turn your fan on, it'll suck air in
Right.
and out.
And if
Heat goes.
right, if I really want, and that's what a lot of people will do, but in my opinion, it's just as easy to leave the door open, the windows open. I can open one of the dormers, particularly on the front, and just don't close the sidewalls, and that just leaves a great big open space.
Right, right.
I realize in mosquito country and things like that, you don't really want to do that. Just, you know, everybody's living on how can I put one of those magnetic screen doors in my camper and so on and so forth. I've seen a lot of those, and those are cool. I generally don't camp in those kind of areas very often. You know, and if I do, I've got the little lantern with the citronella oil.
Right.
Is there anything else I'm forgetting? Let me look around here. Yeah, we did that.
Headroom.
That. Oh yeah.
Headroom. Turn the camera on me. I'm 6'1". I'm in regular shoes.
Yeah.
And right here,
Yeah.
I can feel my hair just barely touching.
Right.
So that's 6'1.5" probably.
Yeah, yeah. So
to
trade
right
me
there.
places. We'll go this way. You can see that one's lower.
Yeah.
His head really interferes with that one.
But the bed's in the way, so it doesn't matter anyway.
Right. And that's the deal. It's because it's the sofa/bed.
I'm 6'1". I can reach about 7.5 feet high.
Right.
And I can't touch the ceiling.
Plenty
at the
of
top.
clearance up there. Yeah.
Lots of room. So. All right.
So is that everything?
Shower.
Covered all
How
that?
do you do showers? Because you've got
I
a toilet.
generally use a campground for that.
Okay.
I do have a method in my truck that I use a lot of times, and I'll show you that in the truck video. But basically, there's a 1 liter water bottle laying in the dashboard with the sun beating on it, and that water gets to be about 95 degrees over the daytime. I've seen them a little bit hotter. It could be up in the 100s, hot enough that you got to dilute it temperature-wise to use it. But then I take and I have a pop bottle cap that has 2 little tiny holes in it, and I've got a couple of these. Some have 2, some have 3 holes.
So it's not really a full shower, but you can
fully
freshen up.
When my hair was this long and my beard was this long, I could wash all of that, a pre-wash, a shampoo wash, another shampoo wash with a different shampoo, particularly my beard, and then put some conditioner in it, and still only do it all with 2 liters of water. Half a gallon of water. And I can wash my torso, most likely. I'll have enough water left. Yeah.
Mainly things like your armpits and things like that.
Right.
Yeah, it's not a full household type shower, but it helps.
But I can take a washcloth and spray some hot water on it and build some soap up and
Navy shower.
And clean everything. Yeah, more or less. And
Navy
then just
shower.
rinse the rag out real good and just wipe all the soap off or rinse it all off. Yeah, I mean, it's not a big deal. But I generally, when I'm traveling in the east, I use state parks every couple of days or places that have Army Corps of Engineer parks, things like that, that have showers built in. I can go for a day or 2 without a shower. It's not a big deal.
Right. Okay.
I travel alone.
Yeah.
There's no one to offend.
Nobody to offend. Nobody here but us chickens.
Yeah.
Now, as far as you don't ever plug in, you said, right?
Nope.
Okay, you never do any like city.
No, extreme situations. When I was in Memphis that time, south of Memphis in northern Mississippi for my grandson's graduation in June last summer, it was all under the trees. I mean, when you get out east, all campgrounds are under the trees. You're hard pressed. Army Corps of Engineer parks around the lakes and stuff. You'll find a lot of sites that don't have tree cover. But to help me with my solar, I try and shoot for spots that don't have tree cover. And if I'm just staying overnight, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I can go anywhere. I mean, the sun doesn't matter. But if I'm staying for 5 days and I got to park under the trees at an A-liner rally or something like that, then my battery might go from 100% down to 67% over those 4 or 5 days. And I'd rather do that than plug in because I've never changed my converter over to a lithium compatible converter because my solar takes care of it.
Right.
I mean, even if I do plug in, it's going to charge my batteries to most of the way. And then when the sun comes out and finally hits my panels, it'll fill it up the rest of the way.
Okay. So you really set this up to be boondocking, off grid kind of,
Right.
what people would
Dispersed
call
camping.
off grid.
Yeah.
So you don't have to be in town.
Yeah.
And if you're out camp somewhere for a long period of time and you need water, you just use the pickup to drive into town and fill your water jugs up.
Yeah.
Because there's no jug to, well, there's a jug in here that you don't fill. You've never
There is
filled
a
up.
tank, but I don't fill it.
Right.
That's right.
So
I've never put water
So
in.
you could actually stay camped in one spot indefinitely.
As long as I have water and
solar.
and food. And
Food.
so and
So you can run, what I'm saying, the camper can sit still. You
Right.
can run to town in the pickup.
Oh yeah.
And make your errands.
I just left. I arrived in the desert Southwest on November actually before Thanksgiving. October 21st. I was camping in the desert Southwest since October 21st until 2 days ago.
Yeah. I mean, when you got
You
here.
know, and just dust and everything else, you know, and never plugged in the entire time. I was in Lake Mead for a week. Post right there. All I had to do was pick a spot, number 59, 49, 45, 43, 47. Those all have good shun in Las Vegas Bay Campground, just so you know.
There you go. All right. Well, this is a 41 minute video, so
I think
I think you covered everything that I can see anyway.
Yeah.
Everything that I've heard about in this thing.
Right.
And but yeah, have any trouble with like water leakage, raining in here?
No, I've been really lucky with that.
I'm not talking about damage. I'm just talking about just the way it's built. There's no. I mean, it's folded and melt.
They are susceptible to that. I have had some water coming in during when I'm driving down the road. The A-liner is supposed to be towed with the tongue uphill, so that any water that might collect takes itself away from the joint between the front half and the back half of the camper, which is more or less directly right over your head.
Right.
There was one time, right before I changed my rear roof seal, that a deluge came on me as I was driving west. The wind was driving it in from the west, pushing me down the road, and water came in through the worn rear roof seal that's on the back of the thing, and it got my bed wet, so on and so forth. I had to stand it up for a day or two and just wipe everything off and let the bedding dry out just a little bit. You know what I mean? And but basically that's it. There is an issue with when I'm driving down the road, because the door closes this way. And when the wind's coming at me while I'm driving down the road, it's coming this way. And if I'm in a rainstorm, water hits this wall and runs back to this opening.
How does it get there? Because
It's just rain blowing up against
this is all above it. So water.
But down here.
Oh, okay, all right.
Down here in the bottom half of the door. I'm
Got
just
it.
using this door so I didn't have to leave to make
Got it. Okay.
the show and tell happen.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But yeah, so that's always a sore spot on all of these A-liners. Yeah, I mean.
Okay.
Water coming in. I've been camping in this full time since summer of 2018. I don't know exactly when I started, but I started more or less living in it after I bought it, the summer after I bought it. I didn't sleep in the house anymore. I slept in here every night since then. So it's going on 8 years now. And I'm really, really comfortable with it, but it's starting to be too much for my old body to take care of. You know what I mean? It's not that I couldn't do it. It's just getting harder and harder and harder. You know what I mean?
You're talking about the setup, putting the roof up and everything.
The setup and having the problem of when I'm driving down the road. Like I drove here 1,200 miles in 3 days, and I would have loved to have been able to get out of my truck, walk back in here, and lay on the bed for a half an hour at 12 o'clock after driving 250 miles. You know what I mean? And
Take a little nap.
I can't really do that. Not necessarily a nap. Just take the stress, let my body stretch out a little bit.
Right.
You know, I can walk.
But you can't do it because it's all folded down.
There's no way to lay down, and you can't. I've never tried. You can't camp you can camp in some rest areas, but more than likely, if it's not the plan, and that's another reason for not having the inside full of stuff to set up outside. You know what I mean? I want to be able to open the door, come in, and lay down. I mean, the last 2 nights, I didn't even disconnect. You know, it's still running downhill. I didn't put the stabilizers down. I didn't even the first night I didn't even unplug the 7-pin plug. Everything was just still hooked up. I just parked in a truck stop in Van Horn, Texas, and
Lifted the roof.
came back and shut the car off and came back and opened it up and got in.
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
but it'd be a lot nicer if I didn't have to worry about backing it up so much. And not that I'm bad at that. I'm fairly decent at it. I'm not good, but still, it'd be a lot easier to just get out of the front seat and lay down on the bed in the back. You know.
Very good. All right. Well, I don't see anything else that we're missing.
Nope, not in the
I believe that's
interior.
about it. So, all right.
Yeah.
Well, I hope everybody enjoyed all that. The home tour.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
So,
All right.
All right. You got any adios things?
Nope. Auf Wiedersehen. Look me up on YouTube and Facebook. Just look for my name, Eugene Bridle.
There you go. All right. Thank you, Eugene.
Yeah.
Take care.